So it's really important to be conscious of those people around you and what words you are using. Kia ora, hi, I'm Craig Johns, high performance leadership expert, the CEO and managing partner of Speakers Institute Corporate, and the founder of Gravity of Leadership. Let's talk about inclusive leadership. And over the next 3 days, we're going to dive into the 3 key fundamentals of inclusive leadership. They are inclusive words, inclusive body language, and number 3, inclusive behavior. Now, in the corporate world, the word inclusion has been hijacked for the right reasons though. You know, obviously we've been there to support minority groups, and inclusion's been focused on gender, race, and ability as probably the 3 key components. However, when it comes to inclusion, that includes every single person, because if we go to the deep root cause of why we face minority issues in gender, race, and ability, it is people feeling excluded. Now, every single person on this planet feels excluded, and we can either indirectly or directly exclude someone through our words, our body language, and our behaviors. Now, in most cases, people don't try to exclude people. And so we're going to delve into some ways that you can try and prevent it, because we can't stop people feeling excluded. It's always going to happen. We can't always please every single person. However, we can try and prevent the amount of times we can exclude people. Why? Because people in the corporate world want to feel connected, want to feel a sense of belonging, to 1, be able to work at their best ability, 2, to have really strong mental health, and 3, be able to really collaborate and connect in a team environment. So let's focus on inclusive words today. Now, there are certain words out there that may exclude people, even though they might be popular, for instance. So let's use the word guys. Now, guys is a male term, and for whatever reason over the last couple of decades, it's shifted into including everyone. It's kind of not really slang, but it's a word that's used in a way to kind of cover all people. However, subconsciously or consciously, that will actually exclude a number of people. So how can we prevent excluding people through maybe shifting the word guys to team or everyone or all? You know, even if we look at the diversity and inclusion where people talk about race and gender, etc., if we talk about the words ladies and gentlemen. Now, that may not offend most people, but for some people that may feel excluded. And so how can you start with welcome everyone rather than ladies and gentlemen, please welcome? So how can we choose those words a little bit wisely? Some other words to kind of think about here are slang words or idiosyncrasies, or even when we look at reducing certain words down to acronyms, for instance, you know, like ABC or whatever it may be. Now, every time you do that, there's possibly going to be someone in the room that feels excluded. 1, because they don't understand the acronym, and we face this all the time in the corporate world where people are so used to knowing what an acronym means, and like even for myself, who's quite knowledgeable in many cases in the corporate world, there's many times where I get caught on acronyms and need to ask, or I feel a little bit threatened about asking, so I feel a little bit excluded sometimes. But then, you know, when we start talking in slang or idiosyncrasies in our own country, when people who might be English second language or come from a different part of the world, they may not understand what those words are. So it's really important to be conscious of those people around you and what words you are using. You know, if you think about even technical words, you know, for instance, you know, people think, technical words, really great, it's gonna make me seem more intelligent, or it's gonna position me better. But in most cases, it actually creates a barrier and excludes you from the mind when it comes to decision making, or whether it comes to people connecting to what you're saying, because they don't understand, so they feel excluded. So there is times those words can exclude us because we just don't understand what they are. If you look at the most successful people in this world, and who, when they come to speaking, or you go, wow, that person's really inspirational and lands a great message, they speak in very basic language, in language that's really easy to understand. because then it caters to everyone. It prevents excluding people from understanding and from the conversation. So how can you choose your words wisely? So my encouragement today is just to be conscious of the words that you're using. If you say the word guys, which most people do and it's quite common, see if you can change that to everyone, team, or whatever it may be, in a way that can include everyone rather than exclude different types of people. Or just think about other words, are you speaking too technical? Or are you using acronyms that people don't understand? Or are you using slang that works in your own country or in your group of people but doesn't quite fit when you're with other people? So my encouragement to you, choose those words wisely so that you can include people in the conversation. It's important to create a gravitational pull rather than a gravitational push. Think about what is your gravity of leadership. Ka kite ano, I'll see you next time.